Alright, welcome back to the channel. Slight change in what you were expecting to see. As we followed on from the last episode, this episode was supposed to be the cylinder head, putting the valves back together, or putting the valves back in place, and working through and getting the cylinder head all done. Only problem I've got, obviously my valve spring compressor is slightly prehistoric. Obviously, as noted, when I took the valves out, I actually used this upside down. I actually only have two attachments. It's quite old. As you can see, the styling, a flat and a slightly dipped. I've actually started shooting the cylinder head valve replacement video, but I've had to stop. So obviously that won't come out yet until I can continue on. I'm going to have to get another valve spring compressor, because obviously when this goes in place, this is actually, as you can see, too wide. Even when I bring it into its narrowest, and it doesn't drop down enough to actually push the valve in. It just sits on the top and I can't push the valve in any further. As I say, and the other attachment I've got is just a straight. So I've had to go online and I've actually ordered, it's a completely different style, similar to this sort of like G-clamp style, but it actually uses like hollow cylinders. So I've actually ordered one of those. As I say, I can't go any further with the valve spring video, so apologies that you're expecting to see the cylinder head, and obviously I can't do it until I get the right tool through. As I say, I've had that one many years, hardly ever used it, but it's just not up to the job of the depth I've got. It just won't go in, so there's no other way around it. So I've ordered a replacement. That should be here hopefully in a few days. So as soon as that arrives, I can crack on and continue. As I say, I've started the video, I've shot a fair amount of footage, but obviously I can't go any further. So as soon as that arrives, as I say, I'll crack on with that, and that video will be edited and then put up for you to see. In the meantime, what it's given me a chance to do is actually kind of come up with some sort of plan, which I've done here. I do tend to do this every so often, so I've got a list of videos that I need to shoot, so I know in my own mind I've got some sort of order of what I'm doing and when I'm doing. Obviously you should have been watching now cylinder head valve replacement, then it was going on to cylinder head refit and torque it down, then obviously cylinder head onto the camshafts and getting all the timing sorted out. After that I was going to move on to rocker cover, paint and polish, clutch replacement, and then start working through, start working through everything. And then obviously the last video was the final touches, start and pray, which probably what it's going to end up being, pray that everything's okay. But as I say, there is loads coming up. I'll read through it quickly. So obviously the clutch replacement, inner sprocket cover, generator replace. Some of these I might move forward while waiting for that part to actually turn up. Sometimes I have to deviate. You know what it's like, you order parts, they don't turn up on time. I say this, I've only just ordered. Obviously I was out here first thing this morning, getting set up, getting it all ready, making sure everything was clean and done. Started to shoot the video and it just, as I say, it just wasn't working with that, so it just hasn't got the depth. Engine covers, need to go back over them, just polish, buff, and then put them back on the bike. Engine brackets I've still got to do with the engine bolts. That's a clean the engine bolts up. again, we'll move to the wire wheel when we do that and paint the engine brackets. And then finally fitting the actual engine back in the frame. As I said a few episodes ago, that'll be a case where I find it easier to lay the engine on its side, put some covers down, put the engine on the floor, and then slide the frame over, bolt it in place, lift it back up. It does work for me. If any of you have got any other ideas or better ways of doing it, then please in the comment box below let me know. Before I carry on with just running through the list, a big thank you to everybody that commented on the I made a big mistake video. That was, surprisingly enough, if you make a mistake, it's one of the fastest growing videos I've had in the time scale that it's been out. It's just gone a lot more views. Obviously people like you to make mistakes, or on the backside of that from the comments I got, they appreciate you obviously appreciate that I'd made a mistake and I owned up to that mistake, and obviously I had the help of, well, everybody, Jim, Brett, everybody really helped to put in their I think it's Jim coined the phrase, their 2 pence worth, which was much appreciated. It really was. I can't thank everybody enough for the support and the comments and the help that I've had. It is a scary, daunting task. I've said that many times. I am learning as I go. I am going to make mistakes. As all of you said, we're human. It's going to happen. But as I say, I really appreciate all the help and support I've had. So after getting the engine back in the frame, it's the carbs and airbox, fuel pipes and fuel tap. The exhaust, obviously I'm going to stick with the Harris for now because I can't find a genuine original in a good condition, in a good price, but I'll keep looking. So clean that up. All the downpipes are obviously, they've been sprayed black. I want to clean them up and take them back to a chrome polished. And then we move on to back into paint. Obviously you saw that the paint's actually turned up. So tank, side panels and tailpiece, I need to prep them. Then obviously I can start with the primer, the base coat and top coat. Wait for the top coat to dry, then we can go in with the decals, get the decals on the bike, and then obviously lacquer. Then I can move on to, obviously the front end's going to come out. It's obviously only a loose fit mock-up. Refit the front end, torque everything down that needs to be torqued. Then move back through the bike, battery tray, electrics, wiring. That's going to be the fun one. The wiring I've got that was with it it was hacked severely. It was transferred to an electronic ignition badly. So a lot of wires have been cut and changed, and I don't have. Moving on to, then we'll move on to the rear wheel. The wheel balancer that I spoke about a few episodes ago has turned up, so I'll do a video on that, setting it up, having a look at it, see how it goes. It was, I think, about 25 quid off eBay, brand new, so I don't know what it's going to be like, whether it's going to be any good, but we'll cover that. Then we'll move on to truing and balancing both wheels in that machine. So again, any help, any comments in the comments box below. When we get near the stage of we're ready to do that, I probably need all the help I can get. If that goes well, we can refit the wheels and tyres and obviously sort out the brakes. Brake hoses, bleed them through. Then moving on to the rear end assembly and the wiring, chain and sprocket, refit the bodywork, attach all the badges after they've been cleaned up, and then move on to final touches. Again, the other thing I've obviously gone through is a couple of extra videos outside of the Z650 build. I need to go back onto the ST1100, obviously with the problems I had with the error code. I hope that video helped everybody with the error codes. I've had some good comments on that, so thank you very much. I'll do an electrical connector test. A few of you said that there's certain areas you need to check, certain parts of the wiring that are known to fail or melt. So we're going to have a look at that, test everything, test the regulator, rectifier, and have a general check around of any corroded wires, connections, etc. As I've said a few times, the XL1000 Veradero makeover, that will be coming. Again, it depends on time. I really want to do it during the summer, so I'm probably looking, depending how far I go in, probably 10-15 videos on that, maybe less, I'm not sure. And then obviously the new project, the Z650, the Z1000 project, that will be basically a complete ground up build. Again, still looking for parts on that. I've kind of got more of an idea of where I'm going. There's still different things running through my head. I now got a swing arm for it. It will be going twin shock. I've managed to pick up a tank for it, which was a really good price. I'm looking at a tail unit. Again, it depends on price. I'm kind of in two minds at the moment with the front end of the Z1000 project, but as I say, there's a lot more time for me to think of whether I go upside down forks or whether I go conventional. So, as I say, any ideas in the comments box below, I really appreciate all the help I can get on that. Right, so that's the tank I've actually managed to find for the Z1000 project. It's the old shape Z900, Z1000 later style tank. I think that does work quite well. But again, let me know your comments in the comments box below. At the moment, I'm toying with the idea of upside down forks. But as I say, there's a lot of time to think over this, lots of ideas to come, lots of hopefully comments, feedback, etc. and just general communication between me and everybody. So I'm not sure at the moment. This is just an old set of upside down yokes that I've had. I believe they're GSXR 1100Ws. So that's a possibility with probably ZX9R forks. Obviously I've got the ZX9R wheel. One conversion I have been looking at, I say, because I do tend to sort of deviate sometimes, it helps me in the process, is actually looking at Suzuki Bandit front end. Because I have found a company that make billet yokes, which are the Z9, Z1000s conversion. They're already, it's got the right stem in it, but it will take 43mm Mark 1 Bandit forks, and I can still use that front wheel. So that's another idea. I mean, a lot of the sort of custom Street Fighters that I've seen, some have gone upside down, some have gone standard traditional. So I thought for the future, upside downs or conventional. So nothing much has changed. That's the swing arm. Again, that'll probably be fully polished. But that's where I am at the moment on that. So that will just sit under wraps, well, under the cover, and as soon as I get parts or find bits, again, if it's a good price, I'll do it. Same with the, obviously with the Z650 stuff. You can see I've still got an old box which I'll probably clear out after. I've still got the actual boxes to go through. There's still parts in there that I need to sift through and have a look at. The top one, obviously pre-wrapped up, is a lot of the polished parts I've already done. The inner mudguard obviously needs a clean up. the airbox needs a clean. So still lots to go through, lots to do, but as I say, at the moment I'll have to kind of deviate off obviously my plan. So the cylinder head at the moment, until that part turns up, I'm going to have to actually move that aside and move through. So I'll probably move on to, so I've got the rocker cover to do, I'll do that as a separate, but the clutch basket replacement, inner sprocket cover and generator, I'll probably cover that in the next episode. Then move on to the rocker cover, get that cleaned, stripped, ready for paint, and obviously polish the ends. It's still down here. Yeah, so as everybody said, go with the paint, mask off up to this line and then polish the ends. But as I say, that needs a really good clean up first, so we'll cover that. So next episode we'll actually crack on back in the engine with the clutch replacement, inner sprocket cover and generator. So as I say, big apologies for not being able to continue on with a continuation of the videos, like I said, but these things happen sometimes. I thought that would be okay, but another one on the way. As soon as that's here, so we'll crack on. So as usual, any comments in the comments box below. I appreciate all your feedback, it is really helpful. There's also a link in the description to my Patreon page if anybody wishes to support me on Patreon. Pop over there, say hello, and join the, well, it's growing slowly, so as I say, the patrons I've got, great bunch of people, really appreciate some of these bits I couldn't do without their help. It means a lot. There's also a link in the description to my tip cup, so if you don't want to, you know, if you're not interested in doing Patreon and you like a particular video, you can drop a pound, $1 in my tip cup, link in the description. I really appreciate all the help that I get through that. I have people that have donated previously, so thanks very much if you're still watching. But that just about wraps, as I say, short video today, that just about wraps everything up for today. It's a pain when that happens, but as I say, next episode we'll move on to back onto the engine, get some bits done on that while we're waiting. So really just about covers it. So join me again next time, and thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.